Bro, how painful you think it was to just get a tattoo on your?
I would have thought, dude, I'm gonna have scarring. There's no way this is gonna heal properly.
It's not even the healing. Well, the scars or whatever that freaks me out. It's the keeping it clean part. I'm just like,
because you got
like, how do you do that?
They probably put something in. They had to like wrap it. They put some Sanoderm on that.
I felt like they're like, we're gonna put some like Sanoderm on there, but when you're gonna do, you gotta spread that as far as you can.
No. Sanoderm's like the healing see-through band-aid that they put on. They probably just like cut a little hole in between it. So, and then they just patched around it.
It's like a pastry bag type of.
Yeah.
Get all the mocos out. Get all the. Ew.
Yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode. This is our friend.
Your phlegmy episode of.
Who's phlegmy?
Were you not coughing up a loogie or something?
Oh no, I needed a burp and I let it out.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Flammy's over there. Plants ain't having sex in my area yet. That's when I start like getting all congested. Yeah, when the plant starts to fuck.
I don't even fuck, dude. It's just sperm in there. That's all it is.
Yeah, no, I am phlegmy and nasally. But that's also because I had some Takis before. And I've kind of had like a tickle in my throat all day. I wasn't gonna smoke, but I've eaten and had water, so throat's coated enough. Let me take a hit.
I don't like the way you said that.
What, dude?
Smoke.
It's a Steve episode. Yeah.
We're kind of just fucking talking about nothing, you know?
That makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's my episode. What's up, everybody? How's it going? Hope you guys are having a wonderful week. Hope you're getting a little sun in your life. California's finally officially seeing a little sun. No, what?
I don't like the sun.
Okay, well, all right.
I don't like it.
All right, well, unlike Gremlin Boy over here, I hope you guys are all enjoying the sun a little bit than usual. I hate it. I hate summer.
That's why I'm saying, like, the sun by itself, sure, whatever, but heat, fuck the heat.
Yeah,
I'm not looking forward to whatever Texas is experiencing at the moment.
So you guys, they're experiencing water. So you guys, hope you're staying hydrated and drinking a lot of fluids, not alcohol based, actual water, because it's hot. It gets hot.
I drink alcohol.
Don't leave your dogs in the cars. Or if you go shopping, leave them at home if you're not going to take them around.
Drink alcohol.
The woofers.
If you're at age and being responsible and not behind the wheel. Speaking of behind the wheel, Richard and I were talking about it earlier. By now, I don't even know what when you guys see this episode, we won't know what's happened. We'll know what's happened as of the conclusion. But there's a couple billionaires floating somewhere in the Canadian waters.
Submarine?
Yeah.
Canadian?
Yeah, it's in Canada.
What?
That's right. Yeah.
Really?
I think.
I didn't know that. I thought it was like towards. I don't even know where the fuck, to be honest. I thought it was.
Yeah, it's Canadian water. Yeah, but as the story develops, internet being the internet has really like taken it as the lives of billionaires, because they're billionaires. People are like, who cares?
Eat the rich, dude.
They're lost, and if not by now, either gone. And by gone, I mean dead.
Yeah. Eat the rich.
Dead as hell.
But I only feel bad for the captain and co-captain. That's it.
What do you mean? Do you know they signed waivers and all that stuff?
I'm sure they do. Well, obviously.
So a company can't sue. So the families can't sue the company.
It's a thing in like all of that kind of shit where it's like you sign in case you end up fucking dying in this case.
That submarine was like made by children. Like the navigation system was removed to be a fucking like a PlayStation remote controller. It's like a $40 remote.
Oh,
like that's an actual thing. Yeah,
well,
in order for them to like drive it.
No, first of all, it's not an actual PlayStation controller. It's a dumbass looking like Logitech looking controller. Something that you would buy because your original PlayStation 1 broke or some shit. But what's it called? Apparently that's a standard. Controller. Apparently that's a standard. So everybody being like, oh, like they trusted their thing and a little gamepad or whatever. Yeah, apparently that's a thing that pretty much every vessel type of thing uses. I think even like for drones and shit, like the army actually uses Xbox controllers. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what they do.
They do. Yeah, that's an actual thing. They use like the elite controllers and stuff like that. It's army certified.
Get the army camo one on it. Dude.
It just says U.S. Army.
Get the little paddle attachments.
Yeah, so that's the crazy shit that like has been going on in the news, and somehow like obviously people made a joke of it. I don't know. I mean,
I'm sorry.
It's like 9 people, right?
No,
5.
It's like 6 or 5. Yeah.
It's 5. Okay,
5.
So I saw this. I was on TikTok earlier today, and just to kind of like tune into people like what's happening. Like it's so like out of pocket jokes though. So there's a couple. They're not even a couple. They're friends. They rented an Airbnb for a weekend, but then they turn the camera around and they show the Airbnb, and it's a kayak to get into the boat. So they're staying in a little boat out like on the lake.
Mm-hmm.
The main comment was like, "Hey, if you see a submarine, you should report it to the U.S." The person who posted a reply was like, "I don't know whether I should laugh or thumbs down this comment because they're like, this is out of pocket,
bro."
And people were like, "Bro, too soon."
No, I've seen all of them. Like just everybody making the jokes, and I'm just listen. It sucks, yes, because realistically, human life, blah blah blah, it sucks. But it's just like our generation does not take anything seriously, and those memes are dark as fuck, obviously. But it's so fucking funny to me. They're just so fucking funny because of how out of pocket they are. It's like right up my alley of dark humor. But yeah, I don't know. Sucks, I guess. I'd feel more bad if they were just like, poor people that were like researching shit. It's just a bunch of rich people that went down there because they have enough money to blow on just looking at something that's underwater.
And if you're not caught up, they went to go see the Titanic.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it's a Titanic like viewing party.
Yeah.
It's like, so what are you gonna see? A fucking octopus eating the remains of whatever happens to be there?
You want to see some octopusy? I got you on a couple links. Just ask.
What?
I immediately thought of
hentai.
Well, no, I immediately thought of that porn star with the octopus on her ass. Have you guys seen that? You guys must know about that. I feel like most people know about that.
So.
It's a straight porn star. She has and like tentacles coming out of like from her ass, and her asshole is supposed to be the mouth of the octopus.
I don't.
Wait, like a tattoo?
Yeah, it's a tattoo. Yeah.
I was like, I don't watch that much porn, I guess. I'm sorry.
So there's like just when she's just normally dressed or, in a bikini, you can just see like the tentacles coming to like the side of her cheeks and stuff like that. Because it like obviously goes from the hole and then it just like spreads out. So I was like, wow. Don't remember her name. But
I don't know. I was
gonna be like, that don't sound like Riley Reid.
If they wanted to see some fishes or some underwater life while they were on the submarine, they could have just gone to that website and maybe they would have saved some lives. I'm just saying, there's an option. It's just an option.
If you guys know what porn star that is, let us know. Put it in the comments because I have no idea who the fuck. I didn't even know someone like that exists.
I don't remember her name. Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah, shoot us a like, shoot us a link. I mean, shoot us a name.
she was like a meme, obviously, because of like the content. So I was like, got it.
Bro, where did you see a so-called meme?
I don't know. Life.
Imagine just getting.
I said, where did you see it?
Yeah, life. I don't know. It's just been around. Yeah, I don't know. Like I've only ever seen like it. I want to say it because it's a person. Her. I've only ever seen like her stuff in passing or people like mentioning it randomly on Twitter. So I was like, oh, right, that's a thing. And then my brain like remembers what it looks like. So I was like, oh, obviously she only does anal porn, or that's her thing. So maybe that'll help whoever wants to look it up narrow down here.
Make sure you're in the anal category of whatever site you
that little filter section that I know you use because you know what gets you going. Make sure to click anal.
I don't think I've ever used the filter.
I have.
I go and I'm just like, you know what? whatever pops up and whatever attracts me, I'm down.
Have we been over this? I feel like we've gone over like.
No, not over the categories though. We've talked about porn the many episodes.
Is there? Do you prefer a specific category?
Me?
Yeah.
No,
Both of you,
mine's just like eye of the beholder. It's just like if I see it and I like it, I'll watch it. I also just like skim the preview, and I'm like, let me see the little screenshot preview. I'm like,
is he fucking her right?
I was like, yeah, this looks good. I'm down.
Good?
You know what I hate when you like take your time, you find one, you click it and be like, that shit
sucks.
Yeah. It's like, let me go to all reliable.
I was gonna say what's terrible is like when it's really good and you're like, this is good, this is good shit.
And you know fast?
No, it's only 10 seconds.
Oh,
it's only the little preview.
Nah,
and it's like,
I don't.
Go to this link. I'm like, oh, you bitches.
Nah,
I don't think I've ever seen.
I've never came across anything like
You know
that.
what it is because those are like.
I can't keep you
either, like-
watching. You watch it 10 seconds. It's like 30 minutes past.
No, I'm just like 10 seconds. I don't want to. I'm not gonna like keep watching it just to like get it going or
The
get
shortest
done
ones
with
that
it.
I've seen are like 2 minutes, and then it'll
3
say
minutes.
like full thing on OnlyFans or some shit, right? And I'm just like, no. So next, but what's it called? What's your
So
what's your preferred?
Amateur.
Amateur. Okay.
Yeah, I don't like big production like studio stuff. It feels too like because knowing like all the stuff that goes into like making porn and then like the whole like it's just so overly produced, kind of like in some songs, you know, almost compared to music because it's art. Like when some songs can be overly produced and it's just like this would have been better stripped down, like just a couple instruments here and there.
I see what you did there.
Almost the same thing with porn. So if it's just overly produced or it's just like too much, then I'm like, but the one where it's like, it's almost meant to be like that. Like back in the day, browsers, when everybody was like, yo, that browser stuff, sheesh. I feel like that
I'm pretty
is
sure they still throw out some bangers.
that is
No pun
almost
intended.
like overly produced,
Bros.
but that's kind of like it's draw, you know,
Yeah.
it's like that's like its style. So you're like, okay. So, but yeah, I like the amateur stuff, the like real life
Sure.
stuff. So that's why Twitter's my shit. I like going to Twitter, and I don't have like specific like
Pages or anything?
pages.
Yeah.
Well, no, I do like every now and then. Like if I like something and I've like
How do you feel about
people
bookmarks?
retweet stuff. I
About what?
don't
Have
even
you
know
ever
where to go.
have
for
you ever like
mine, I
bookmarked
think.
one or like saved it?
I think I've done it once, but like I don't.
That's crazy.
I still don't know where to like click for bookmarks. I know they're there, but I don't know where to find them. So that's why I did it. But then I was like, okay, now what do I do? Like,
Well, on iPhone, it's your
Cool.
favorites.
oh
It wouldn't be bookmarked. You'd have to look in your favorites, like on your like favorite tab.
yeah, but I have an alt Twitter, so me liking, retweeting, or replying to stuff or posting stuff. I don't give a shit, honestly. So
I mean, yeah, that's what it's for, I guess.
yeah, but yeah,
Wait,
yeah,
Steve, you
that's
didn't
my shit.
You say you just fucking whatever you see?
Whatever's on the
Whatever
homepage,
floats
I'll go
the
through
boat.
it. Yeah, I'll go through it. Like I'll like I skim through like. Oh, I don't skim through pages. Like I'm not like fuck. I'm not like oh, damn. I'm on the 10th page. Usually, like on the first or second page, I'm like, this is cool. I was like, I could see.
Yeah, I
something
could
that
beat
I
my
like.
meat to this.
I was like, yeah, I could jerk to this. Done, I'm out.
I like to find some like quality stuff. I will be honest.
I don't
think
give a
it's-
fuck about all that, bro.
I think it's because I'm like obviously like hyper. I don't want to say hypersexual because that just makes me sound like weird.
Pervert
But
plus-
yeah, but it's like it's just part of the like I want to say part of the community, but I feel like that's just like
No,
just the
I think it's just human nature.
the vibe. So, but I mean,
everyone has a thing.
yeah. So, but like I don't know, it just feels like that's just kind of not how it is, and you just roll with it. But yeah, I feel like I'm trying to think like.
You want to know why?
I don't want to make like
a
general. I don't want to make a general assumption. That's why I'm trying to like word it right. But it's like I feel like a good majority of the gay community, a lot, especially my generation, was introduced through like hypersexualness, like or a sexual activity was like the first like interaction that they had with someone else that was like gay or whatever, no homo bros type
Curious.
shit.
I've
So,
always
yeah.
said, and I don't know if I'm right about it. Correct me if I'm not, but I've always kind of had the theory of just like, for gay men, obviously it's just the stereotype is that a lot of them are over like super hypersexual, like you're saying, more or less.
They're
right?
horny.
But
Mhm.
I think the reason is because, like, I mean, how else would you react if, like, for most of your life / your early years, where everybody's experimenting and doing shit, you're not doing what you really want to do, and
Yeah.
then finally, it's
Mhm.
like we're kind of at an age where it's just like, at least for the most part, in a lot of the U.S., it's just like, yeah, go ahead, do whatever you want, and now it's just like, shit, let's, like, I'm older now. Let's find a lot of people that are like minded and just
Mhm.
fuck and just see what
Yeah.
see what it's like / finally be myself type of thing. Especially
Right.
men too, because testosterone.
That's why I think that a little, not even a little part, like a decent part of me is kind of jealous and envies the younger gay crowd now, or LGBT crowd now, because they get to have like just a lot of tools at their hands. It's more accepted, not fully accepted, of course, because there's examples in the world. But it's a lot better than it was before, and I just feel like you're more likely to have like a normal experience, or like normal like growing pains of like dating, relationship stuff, like anything relationship related, honestly,
Because it's
or
not
love
so
related.
tabooed.
Well, yeah, not so taboo, but like, because again, the only real option was like Richard saying, you're never really finding anyone that's really like you. And it's just like a lot of it's kind of building up, a lot of denial, emotional buildup, physical buildup. It's just like, and mental build, everything's just kind of building up to this moment where you finally have someone that's like similar to you. Now to get like literal, that buildup needs to go somewhere. So you're like, oh damn, yeah. And for the most part, if you wanted to, like, if you didn't have anyone around you, the only option was the internet. And the internet, still to this day, if not, it's more so. But back in the day, it was just like very sleazy, horny. Now it's just publicly freaky, like just do what you want and whatever. So I think that's why when I was younger, I like was all about that. I was doing whatever I wanted to do and like meeting up with people like I should not have been meeting up with. So
let me ask you this, just because we're on that topic. Do you think because you touched base on like the younger crowd in your community,
yes.
They get to experience more, like, I guess you could say the norm, it's fucked up to say, but like the normal version of a relationship, because it's more accepted now. Do you think that's why your generation and up is like so fucked when it comes to like relationships? Like they're so fucked up that they don't know how to properly either A, have a proper relationship, or B, are just looking for a quick fuck because they think a relationship isn't either A, worth it or not worth their time. And like that's why like you think like, or at least that's what, like, from the things you've shared with us in private, where it had to do with like just some people just don't understand the concept of a relationship, or have given up on the whole concept of like a monogamy relationship. Like they rather be fucking around and doing this and doing that with somebody, or not put a title on somebody, because that's kind of what they're accustomed to.
Yeah. I think that it does play into the factor that people in my generation and older weren't really well versed or experienced in relationships, so it does lead to, like, again, a majority of people in my community, their first like interaction with someone of the same sex is a sexual one, because it just happens. I don't know. I hate to be like, well, we're men. What do you expect?
No, it's just urges.
It just happens. Yeah, it just happens. And again, it's like almost like again, it's build up. Everything just kind of builds up, and you finally have this release, and it's almost the vibe. I don't even know how really to describe it, but I feel like kids now, they have like way more things to see, interact with, and understand and absorb and consume, that basically isn't just porn. It's romance, it's heartbreak, it's horror movies with gay couples in it and they're the lead. So it's like there's a lot more. It needs to be better, but it's a lot better than it was for me. Like I remember when I finally got Netflix and they had like the gay and lesbian section on Netflix. I was like, oh, okay. So I would like watch it and then try to like click on like 12 different things so I would fill up the queue, so it would just disappear because there was like a limit to what you recently watched on Netflix. And whatever they had on there was trash. I'm gonna be honest. It was so fucking awkward. It was bad acting. It was it was underfunded, and it was just cringy. It was just cringy all around. So there wasn't any like real concept of like what a real gay relationship was like. Not to say that there's a big difference between a heterosexual relationship and a homosexual relationship, or you know, queer relationship. They're basically the same, just minor differences. But it still helps to have that thing to relate to and to kind of like base it off of, especially with the entire world or a majority of the people in the world basically telling you, go to hell. We're gonna burn for liking that penis, young man. It's like, oh my God, Jesus Christ.
What?
So, yeah.
What do you think is a good representation as far as media goes for today's gay couple? I think off of my head, I haven't seen it, but from what I've heard, Bros, right?
Bros is a very good movie.
I haven't seen Bros yet, but I do know,
you know, it's funny. Sorry to cut you off. It's funny because by you bringing that up, like as I was watching and I was like, they mention shit or they talk about certain shit because there's like a little education behind it.
Yeah.
With how they explain something, like obviously there's comedy in it because the main actor is a comedian. But like shit that like Lee's told us to make us understand a little better is they bring it up in the movie. So I was like, oh wow, I was like, that's actually relatable because I know somebody who actually told me these things, or like maybe somebody experienced something not like this but similar to this, and I'm like, wow, I was like a lot of the things that were being said, I was like, oh wow, I actually understand this. I was like, as someone who's heterosexual, I was like, I understand this because I know somebody like close to me who's shared their own version of this story. I was like, so yeah, but I think that movie for sure has a very good like narrative of like the experience of like from the main character to like he's like hooking up and he's like it's meaningless and it's pointless and it's kind of degrading, and like it shows like the interest of like, yo, you want this? Like, you want to have sex or not? Because if you don't, like, it's an exchange. Either we fuck or we don't. And if you don't, then you can just fuck off and I'll go find somebody else. To where like he meets somebody and like he thinks it's a fucking joke, or like he doesn't trust this person because he's used to that hookup culture life of like men just wanting one thing and then being like, okay, cool, peace, on to the next. And
it's almost unbelievable, and then it leads to like self-sabotage because it's so unbelievable and it's just so like, yeah, right. Like,
and that's kind of how like the beginning of that relationship in that movie like it gets depicted. It was like he's just talking shit and he's so defensive on both sides because the other one's like very dudeish, and then Billy Eichner's character is masculine. Yeah, sorry. Well, he literally is a bro. Like he's this buff guy who's into sports, says bro, chest bumps his homies. Like he looks like a douchebag, like a straight up douchebag. But in reality, like he's like a really sweet guy. And Billy Eichner's character is more like the lanky, skinny, like I'm shy, like I wear my heart on my sleeve, but I don't type of person. So like it shows a lot of like differences, and then it shows like different like versions of people, like how they react to it or behave to it and stuff like that. It even like it talks a little into like a family, like more realism of like the guy, the more masculine one, he has a brother who he doesn't talk to. Like they're cool with each other, but they don't really express anything to each other because he was like, how do I talk to you if you're like, you like men and I don't? So yeah, well, because he thinks they think it's weird. Like they're both weirded out from each other because they're like, we don't know how to communicate because I don't know what's gonna offend you or what's gonna get you mad, or like I don't know the type of advice. And then he goes down into the breakdown of like it's the same people, it's the same feeling, same emotion. It's just we're just happen to be the same sex. Like that's all it is. Like there's nothing behind it. It's still the same feeling. So I was like, oh wow, I was like, I've heard all this shit before.
I haven't seen the movie. I do want to see it. That sounds great. Like I would, if I have seen it, I would say that one. The only thing that I could think of like for the younger generation would be like Heartstopper. I thought Heartstopper was fucking awesome. It's very like cutesy. And it's very like aesthetically like pleasing, like almost like the same vibe as Sex Education. If anyone's seen that Netflix original, it's almost like that kind of scenery, that kind of vibe. It's really good though. I like the way that it's depicted like it's almost like they're just normal, but there's still the nuance of like they're both high school kids. So the gay one gets like they show the experience of basically just being the secret, you know, the side piece almost, or just being the don't tell anyone, no homo, bro, you know, stuff like that. That's basically what happens, and that's kind of like what plays out in the background a little bit in the beginning. And then the other character kind of goes through this like self-discovery, so it kind of shows the audience both sides. I do wish that more media though, because I think Love, Simon, I think is also a movie.
Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah,
that one's also pretty good. I just kind of wish that the movies and the show would kind of show, like, I get it, show the positive, so it's more, it's because it's supposed to be happy. Nobody wants to like kind of be hit with a dose of reality, especially I feel like my community when it comes down to stuff like that. But I would like, I don't know, like some realistic, or not realistic, but like my version of realistic family reaction to like the coming out, like a sort of hesitance, like not a overly positive one, just kind of like shows like a little bit more depth to people in the characters and stuff like that. Because you gotta tell, like, for the most part, the families are super loving, and it kind of just boils down to, it's just you. You're just thinking that you're this, they're gonna think that, they're gonna do this, and they're gonna do that. You're just psyching yourself out. Just go for it. You'll be fine. And that doesn't really happen. That's not really how it is. A lot of people are better off never doing that. A lot of people are better off for their well-being and for their safety to not come out to their families, because it is very, very, very unsafe for a lot of different people for various reasons.
I feel like,
so I don't know.
I was just gonna be like, that's very. I know the feeling of that only because the best way I can relate to that is what's it called? I have never told my mom specifically my mom. I never told my mom that I'm atheist because she's stupid religious, you know? Like, you know, as most Mexican old school Latino families are, she's just like Catholic, always, you know, like, oh, thank the Virgin Mary, blah blah blah.
Thank the Lord.
Yeah. So I've only told some of my relatives, and even then it's been kind of like a soft of like, because I know that they're not super religious either, but they're also not like, you know, completely like getting rid of the idea of Catholicism. Yeah. So what's it called? I don't know. I've told them many times, or at least like Maria, or like some of my family, like I don't think I'll ever tell her, because I know I've had that asked by my brother-in-law. It's like what, are you gonna tell her at all at one point? I'm like, no, like I don't think it's anything worth telling, because at the end of the day, it's just like, you know, she thinks that's what's best, and she's just kind of like, you know, uses it as a way to make herself feel better, as well as like, you know, put her, I guess, like trust into something that I'm just like, that's fine. I'd rather not like have her think that I'm just like shitting on that idea, you know?
Yeah. Right. I was gonna say, I feel like that kind of like with stuff like that, I think that's why I also don't really talk about religion with family. But for the most part, I'm pretty sure my family, like even like cousins and stuff like that, we all, I think, pretty for the most part think the same. I don't think anyone's like hyper religious to the point where if we said like, oh, I don't believe in that, they would trip out. If anything, there'd be questions, but it wouldn't be like it wouldn't be overly negative. The only one I think would be my grandma. She's like a little bit more religious. But I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, that's almost like, it's almost the same, because I feel like when you tell someone that you're gay or insert queer identity here, if they're religious, they're obviously going to think, oh my God, you're going to hell. Like, you know, that, and if they subscribe to that method of thinking, or, you know, just that idea. Belief.
Ideology.
Yeah. Ideology. It's almost the same, because I feel like when you tell someone that's super religious that you're atheist or you don't believe, then it's like telling them like, yeah, I don't believe, so I'm not going to be there. I'm not going to, like, whatever version of your afterlife is, I don't see that happening. So yeah.
Oh well. Sucks for you.
Yeah, like and it kind of just boils down to like, why? why even bring it up? Like for me, when it came down to me being gay and stuff, I wasn't even gonna tell my parents. I even told my mom that I was like prepared to go to the grave with it, wait till they pass, and then just have like a 3/4 life crisis or something, and then like just most likely get into porn and do a bunch of like unheathenish shit that was borderline sexual deviantness. I swear, I was prepared for that to happen. But can't really do that now because, you know, expressing oneself is not as hard as it was before. So, but yeah.
I like how that was your outcome. I'm gonna do porn.
Yeah, because I feel like when it comes down to it, it's like I don't want to get like, I don't want to dye my hair. I don't want to get like a crazy car. I don't want to like date someone like fucking 30 years younger than me. I do porn. That seems controllable, and I know I can fit. I can find the right kink and the right.
So what if you didn't?
I'm looking for. So what if I didn't?
Exactly. Like what if the porn thing didn't work out?
If it didn't work out, then I think I would have just been young Lee 2.0, but in my like late 50s or some shit like that. That's what would have happened. Or assuming how whenever my parents passed and all that shit, then that's when it would have happened. That's when like the full on like I'm having orgies at my house and everybody is gonna be smelling some crazy ass scents.
Like Hugh Hefner, but
with men.
But the local gay crowd, yeah, basically. That's what happened. I'm pretty sure.
Gay Hugh Hefner.
Gay Hugh Hefner. Is Lee in a bathrobe. I might still do that.
Shit.
But yeah, so that feels like that's kind of what it boiled down to. Because it's just, I don't know. I feel like for the most part, I understand like it's different for everybody again. But I feel like for me, I kind of already expressed myself the way that I kind of want to. If anything, maybe there'd be more color in my clothing, maybe like more pinks. Not that my parents, I think, would trip out over me wearing pink, but it's just this like, you know, anxiety. My anxiety always just gets the better of me when it comes to shit like that. So, you know, always stopping myself from buying this one piece and then wearing it out because I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I'll think about it.
You know what's funny is just having that stigma on the clothes thing, like color specifically. Like yeah, like I hadn't worn pink in like ever, and then I just randomly I was like, I want a pink shirt. And sure enough, I got a pink shirt and I wore it, and I was just like, whatever. My mom didn't bat an eye. My dad. You
have a good complexion for pink. By the way, you can pull off a pink shirt.
Thanks.
You got the right skin tone for it. I can see it.
I hope so.
I feel like
I don't know what happened to my pink shirt.
I've never seen you wear one, so I would assume.
Nah, I used to wear one. I have photos when we were out and I had one on. Those are jokes, guys.
I was gonna say I assume someone has it. That's my one thought. Like thought.
Probably. Yeah. You know what? Like 90% of my like 60% of my clothes like
you left it at some bitch's house.
yeah, for sure. You left it at some other whore's house, dude. Not yours.
I'm upset.
Dude, men are trash. Dude, don't listen to us, you guys. Click off. Dude. Goodbye, everybody.
Loving real.
Wait, like us and share us and then click off.
Share us with your other disgusting
with your men.
Yeah, because this is man time.
Yeah, we talk about butts on butts and dicks and butts.
And octopuses on butts. Oh, that was my other question. It's just like
under the sea.
I was just like, bro, how painful you think it was to just get a fucking tattoo on your ass?
Oh, I was like, anal?
Like in your
dude, incredibly. There is no way that like I would have thought, dude, I'm gonna have scarring. There's no way this is gonna heal properly.
Bro,
like, fuck that.
It's not even the healing. Well, the scars or whatever that freaks me out. It's the keeping it clean part. I'm just like,
because you got to shit.
Because you got to
especially afterwards.
Yeah. I'm like, how do you do that?
They probably put something in. They had to like.
Honestly, you know what?
They put some Sanoderm on that shit.
I felt like they're like, we're gonna put some like Sanoderm on there, but when you're gonna do, you gotta spread that bitch as far as you can.
No. Sanoderm's like the healing see-through Band-Aid that they put on. they probably just like cut a little hole in between it. So, and then they just patched around it.
It's like a
when you
pastry bag type of shit.
Yeah.
Ew.
It's like when you're pushing frosting out.
Stop. Ew.
Oh, yeah, you guys are weird about that shit.
What are you looking up? What are you possibly looking up?
How to heal butthole tattoos?
No.
Bro, this man's search history is horrendous for sure.
I'm looking up the chick.
Oh, bro, they're gonna tell us in the comments.
Diza Morgan. I think that's how you say her name. There's a lot of different bitches, dude.
How do you spell it? Give the sauce to our listeners.
DAIZHA space MORGANN. That's the.
I did not type that in, but cool.
No, it's okay. Steve is. That's the bitch.
I'm not looking it up.
That's who. I also might be like mixing up because there's a lot of
I'm also not like big
options.
on anal, so like you mentioning an anal porn star, I'm like, I just don't find it like. I don't know. There's too much as like, I don't know. I guess because in the heterosexual world, anal isn't really the only option.
No,
it's not one of the only two options, right? And I don't mean this in a disrespectful way. It's just your partner or whoever you're fucking or whatever, like your side piece, whatever it is, your hookup. Like none of these people nor yourself are prepared for anal. Like nobody preps, nobody gets ready, nobody does anything, nobody brings anything. It's like I've never found, even being in a long-term relationship in the past, like I never really found fucking someone anally was like, oh man, like the way some straight men talk about it, where it's like, yeah, like fucking someone in the ass. It's like that, like I don't get turned on by that. Like, and no offense to the people who do like it, I'm sure there's thousands of people who like anal. Like, but it's like I just don't find it pleasing to me. Like, why would I want to do something that doesn't please me and doesn't please my partner? Obviously, you know. So it's like, I don't know.
You know, when I was younger, you know, what's funny is I was watching a lot of different stuff. So damn, my brain is like connecting a bunch of different things because there was a lot of stuff that I was watching today that's now connecting. So in high school, I remember talking with like people and just kind of like I'd come out, so everybody had a bunch of questions, so I was answering questions and kind of giving like just basically like, oh my god, I know a gay person, let me go and ask them because they're basically Google, right?
I have a token.
Yeah, I was a token gay, or at least a token out gay. So I would get a lot of questions. I remember like just the anal topic came up, and I was like, yeah, for dudes obviously feels good to like once it gets going because you have that, you know, prostate or whatever. But also I just kind of don't see the point in doing it with girls. Like it just kind of doesn't really make sense to me. Like she doesn't feel any pleasure. And I remember specifically one chick being in there and she was like, speak for yourself or or they speak for themselves. I was like, what do you mean? And she was like, what do you think I mean?
Yeah, no,
like, she was all about it. I was like,
I've met people in the past who are like, who would rather get fucked in the ass than like get like fucked vaginally because they just feel more pleasurable off of it. And I'm like,
I kind of get that.
And then there's the other handful of people who are like, it just feels like I have to take a really fat shit. I'm like, yo, Jesus. Like they're like, no, it's not that I don't like it. It's just uncomfortable. They're like, there's like girls have been like, it makes me feel bloated, and then I feel like I need to take a really massive shit, and I don't like that. I'm like, yeah, I was like, I don't like feeling like I need to take a fat shit either. So I guess.
Yeah, I think it's it comes down to being gay. I feel like it's almost like number one, no other option other than the mouth. That's it. Number two, though, G-spot, of course, it's like the main reason. But like number three, I feel like we're also just kind of brainwashed to just be into it to a certain extent. Like, yeah, because you're watching porn and it's what's going on, and it's like,
well, they like it.
Yeah, they like it, and it looks like they're fucking loving it, so I should love it too, right? And the first time happens, and yeah, dude,
God, it's tearing.
That first time was rough, and then the second time was just as rough, if not a little bit easier. Then after that, it was we were fine.
Was it with the same person?
The second and the third time were.
Okay, so there was a little trust in that.
Yeah. There was I didn't start doing.
I was like, you got your balls stretched by 3 random people.
See, I was also like decently good when it comes down to like just me doing stuff like drinking. I mean, that's where I was like, I maybe could have waited a little bit longer if I wanted to be like good about it. But I started drinking at 16, which was not that big of a deal for, at least I feel like for Latino households.
You're underage, don't drink, guys.
Especially like at family parties, New Year's, like at that time, especially that year, my family, it was like around the time we were still doing big family parties for events or holidays. So I remember drinking with my cousin for the first time. That was cool. But yeah, other than that, I didn't smoke a cigarette or weed until I was like
getting fucked.
18, 21. Like 18 when I had a cigarette, and then 21, I think when I was in college. And then drinking obviously started then, and then like drugs and stuff was way later in my life. But yeah, when it came down to sex, I didn't start sleeping around with people randomly until college. Like I feel like that's when I, like in high school, was pretty much just one person the whole time.
I mean, I feel like it would be harder for most people in high school just because, well, you know, parents
not a lot of
options like that, and then yes, also underage.
Yeah, and no, I was gonna say not a lot of options because I'm gay and there's not a lot of options to choose from. The fucking that fish pond is
every school had like one or two.
Yeah, and they're never each other's type ever. Yeah. I guarantee you, your gay
one
friends
was in drill and the other one was hanging out with the goth kids.
Yeah, see, I can guarantee they're not into one another.
I was gonna say,
I can guarantee it.
I feel like that's changed though nowadays, right? Like I feel like maybe a lot more kids just finally understand themselves better because of, like, you know, hopefully it's more talked about nowadays. So nowadays I feel, I don't know. I haven't been, obviously we've all been out of high school for a long ass time.
We're not children.
Yeah. So I don't know how it is, but from what I've seen, or like from my younger family, you know, gay couples are a lot more,
there's a lot.
There's prominent.
Which I love, dude. Oh my God. Every now and then a video will come out, or a TikTok or something, and it's just like two gay, you know, young guys just dating, and they're just doing like couple stuff, and I'm just sitting there, I'm on my phone on TikTok, and I'm just like
that's called people who want to be healthy.
It should have been me.
Those are healthy relationships.
I look at the comments and everybody's like, this, like a lot of gay dudes, a lot of them in the comments are like, this just pisses me the fuck off. God damn it. I'm like, what? Like,
and it's probably the same dudes who are like this.
Experience it.
It's the same dudes who are like this, talking shit on it, and then swipe off and then go straight to Tinder and like,
well, maybe.
Yeah, what are you doing?
But yeah, that's why I'd like for me, I like stuff like that. I like, you know, romance, lovey-dovey stuff. Yeah, so that stuff is cute, but I don't know. when the option is there for me, when it does happen, I always think to myself, God, you're sabotaging it. But then like something will happen. I'm like, oh, bitch, you were right. God damn it. I'm like, fuck. All right, time to move on to the next one, or just do me again. So it happens, but
I think it's just
such is life.
Yeah, you know, it's trial and error.
Yeah. What I will say about, I think it's the same whether you're gay or straight, whatever you identify as, when it comes to relationships, especially nowadays, where it's just like, I knew it, like it's not worth it, blah blah blah. I don't know. Maybe it's the hopeless romantic, where it's just like, it'll get there eventually, but it's just like this one didn't work out.
As long as you're putting yourself in those spaces and you're kind of just like opening yourself up to that kind of vibe or energy or possibility, then I think it'll happen. Don't think that, oh, I'll get someone, and you're just in your fucking room all day, just doing nothing, not putting yourself in those spaces. Like, come on, what are you doing?
Yeah, I mean, that being said, it's like, if you are doing that, just look a little bit deeper. Maybe you're just not ready for a relationship.
True that. Actions speak louder than words, especially your own.
Yeah,
that's very true.
So like, what's it called? No, once you get to the point where you're just like ready to meet somebody or whatever it is, good for you. I get some friends to go out sometimes, but I also feel like if you try to force it / just start going out,
nothing comes out of it.
Nothing comes out of it except for, you know, more shallow-ended stuff. It'll happen eventually, but it's just like, you can't rush these things.
Oh, also you miss all the shots you don't take. So there is that too.
Shoot your shots. Shoot your shots.
You never know. Maybe you can find your own bro if you just went up to him and talked to him, even though he looks, maybe out of your league, or she looks like she can do better. What if you're the best that she can ever get? You'll never know until you try.
And or he.
Make that a movie and market it, Hollywood.
Except for us, because girls are scared.
Us? What the fuck? Me?
Well,
But
I'm just saying.
say
your rooms.
Like us. I'm like, we're afraid. All three of us are
Stay in
afraid
your rooms
of
and
women.
lock your doors.
Control the population. There's too many people in this world.
That is why.
Don't find relationships because then you mate.
That is why people should appreciate gay couples more. We're not making babies every time we fuck. Y'all are welcome.
What do you mean? You guys are getting surrogates.
Yeah,
same thing.
Like,
same thing. If a baby's being made, same thing.
No, that's a fucking difference. Jesus Christ. It's like compared to like a couple that's like just they can just fuck and they can have like 3 to 4 kids. God, the amount of money that it takes for a surrogate to happen and like all the loopholes that you gotta jump through.
Like 30K to 40K.
Ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So
obviously it's a joke.
Yeah, dude.
I have a friend who's a surrogate right now.
It's a lot of
really?
shit.
Yeah, I have a friend. She's a surrogate right now.
Interesting.
But I'm like, my mind, I always want to ask her. I'm like, do you tell your daughter? Because she has a kid. Her kid's like, I think like 7. But I'm like, I want to ask her, like, in a non-disrespectful way, obviously. You know, curiosity. I'm like, do you tell your kid, like, hey, this isn't your little brother or sister?
I would hope so.
And it's like, and like the follow-up conversation is, so how'd you get pregnant? It's like, test tube babies.
I would hope, when I say I would hope so, I would hope that she's having the conversation with her kid, because that would be really weird. I don't know. I feel like kids are smarter than people give them credit for.
They're very observant.
Yeah.
Very observant.
And it's almost like,
I feel like that's
it's weird.
That's a good teaching opportunity for parents and a good learning opportunity for kids. There's just like, hey, like, I'm doing this for this couple that normally can't have a kid on their own.
Ben and Jerry, they want to have a baby too.
The ice cream?
Yes. And I'm going to give them their little caramel swirl to their vanilla milkshake. Because I'm assuming she's Latino for some reason. My brain went.
She is Latina.
Yeah, see? I don't know why. So yeah, that's my analogy. God, I can't wait to have a kid and ruin their minds.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Adopt little Timmy.
Speaking of loving shit, so fucking Crunchyroll crashed this weekend.
Oh, I did see. I was a part of that crash. I clicked on it. I was like, okay. I think I watched Netflix or I watched something on YouTube.
Yeah, like apparently Crunchyroll crashed. And the reason I bring it up is because like I was recently having conversations with people about this. It's like, if you had to introduce somebody to anime, like it's their first time watching it, or they've like got a glimpse of it, blah, blah, blah. What? Away from like the big 3, because eventually everyone gets around those, right? Unless you're us and we're never going to watch One Piece, but I'm barely getting into Hunter x Hunter. What anime would you like recommend to somebody who wants to know why people were so hyped, not necessarily about Demon Slayer, because that's the one that crashed the site, which shout out to Black Clover, 100% rating on Netflix. It's one of their best movies out so far. Everybody, I haven't seen it yet. I have to watch it. Everyone fucking enjoyed it apparently. So I heard it's really good. But what kind of anime would you guys recommend to somebody to like, as a first comer? And remember, not everybody likes the action ones we do. Well, not everybody likes.
That's what I was.
What would you recommend?
That's what I was gonna say. Like, it depends on the person.
Yeah,
like just a general concept. Like, these people like they're very versed on movies. They like scary. They like romance. They like action. They like.
If it's a person that likes anything, that can watch anything, and I know that they'll appreciate it, it would be Fruits Basket. That's like my go-to. It's funny. It's heartwarming. It'll make you cry, especially if you can get into it, and it's comfort. It's comforting. I feel like I like a lot of shows. Like I have a lot of comfort shows every season that I like to watch. Like every season kind of has that one new one. Mm-hmm. And then when the new one is like I'm obviously watching it as the weeks come on, or as it comes out weekly. I'll like watch something else, or I'll rewatch something. I think I've rewatched Fruits Basket at least 2 times since I finished like both
That's
of the
still
seasons.
on my queue.
It's really good. I like that one. But if it comes down to like anything else, I'm only really good when it comes to like weird psychological stuff, some action stuff, but mostly slice of life stuff. Like, yeah, I got a lot of those. Skip and Loafer, Fruits Basket, Blue Sky, I think.
But
March is the Lion. Like
Fruit Basket would be your
Fruits
like
Basket is the go-to for someone that's like, oh, I'm into any. I will literally watch and appreciate anything. Then it's like, okay.
Because I mean, like the reason I ask is because obviously if you look at TV or you look at Netflix, a lot of people get sucked into the drama, into like the reality TV.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what's an easy way to ease somebody into like anime that maybe doesn't watch it or wants to like just get into it and then eventually start opening their mind to like, you go from fucking Fruits Basket to fucking Attack on Titan to fucking, Full Metal Alchemist, like shit like that, you know?
I was gonna say I don't watch as much anime as either of these two, especially Lee. But
I don't like the way you said that.
My bad. Anyway.
He doesn't watch TV, guys.
What's it called? I just, because I've seen a bunch of people like, I'm gonna be the one to admit that I like watching people's reactions to certain like, shows or whatever the fuck.
Same. I'm watching 2 girls react to The Last of Us right now. Yeah,
I've seen people react to it. Yeah. Anyway, I've seen a lot of like these channels that normally don't watch anime or anything, where they first watch Attack on Titan, and I was like, that makes sense to me because Attack on Titan, sure, it's action packed and it's maybe it's
story
a little
driven,
overhyped or whatever, right? At least for like the more hardcore crowd. But I feel like it plays very well to people who are coming from like real life dramas or whatever, because it really does have that whole like big plot unfolding. There's this big mystery type of thing,
but it also has twist type of thing,
actions to it. Like closest thing that it reminds me of is just like Game of Thrones type of thing, but just not as long and honestly more action packed. But yeah, I was just like, I think that would probably be a really good first one for audience like that like Game of Thrones type of shit.
Yeah.
As far as like anything though, I don't really know, to be honest. Like, I don't know. Yeah. What's it called? Demon Slayer, maybe. Fucking, what's it called? For me, that was just like, oh shit, this is actually pretty good.
Okay.
That was about it.
I was like, if I had to pick one, it'd probably be like, just because I think it's like it's not so hyped up. It is popular. It's not hyped up, but it's also like, I just enjoyed it because there's moments that made me laugh. There's moments that made me be like, like the gas moment. Surprisingly, it would be Horimiya. It's the one. It's basically like these high school kids. They're all high school kids, but it falls under like the main character. He's like very quiet, but then the chick who looks like fucking Asuna from Sword Art, she like kind of strings him along, gets to know him, and starts to know things about him a little by little, like more and more. And then they go from being like friends to like being a cute couple, but they don't really mention it. And then they have this big moment of like a kiss, and then it's like people are like, but then it becomes nothing, and then it becomes something. It's very like heartstring pulled. But that, like, if I had to introduce anybody to like any type of anime, that would probably be like my number one pick, just because it gives a little bit of everything. And it's like I'm telling you, like the fact that it caught my attention and it caught me laughing at some points. I was like, I'm a nerd, bro. I was like, I like this shit. Like, but it was good. Like, it was good. So if you've never seen it, Horimiya is definitely a good one. Season 2 is coming out later on this summer too, so it's a good way to catch on.
I would say for people that are into Game of Thrones, Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation. It's a long name. I know it's very nerdy, but it's basically a guy dies in our world, is reborn in a world that has like a lot of magic and stuff. But It's really nice animation. The story's really good. He has the mind of a man, but obviously he's growing up. So it's kind of funny. He was also like a super shut-in, almost like a hardcore gamer nerd, but like just never left the house, brutally bullied, was like just petrified to ever leave his home. So you're kind of like watching someone kind of grow from that all over again and get a second chance. So it's really cool. That's like the undertone to it, but it's really, really awesome animation. If you like war stuff, that's kind of emotional. 86 and then spelled out 86. That shit's tight. That shit's awesome.
I recommended that one so many times.
It's almost like pseudo like touches on racism, but like in war, and like just based like off of appearance and stuff like that. But it's really good. That one's also really nice. And then the last one is, we've all seen it, and I can guarantee anyone that watches it will love it. Bocchi the Rock.
I thought of that one too.
I don't know why I didn't. That wasn't like immediately like all of us were just like Bocchi, but Bocchi will get anyone. I can guarantee that will like. I feel like that will lock in anyone that's like even a little on the internet.
Because
we're looking into getting into anime. Yeah, I feel like that will get you.
With Bocchi, is just like, it's perfect because you can't help but root for Bocchi.
Yeah,
and it's just like
you can't help but also feel like you can relate to her to a certain extent.
And then when she fucking just like overcomes something, or like has this moment of just like, oh my god, you know, she has this great moment. Yeah, you can't help but feel happy. It's so good.
Yeah, it's good. That's good. The music's great. The cast is awesome. So yeah, Bocchi the Rock for sure. For any like the for sure very beginning of like, oh, I want to watch this and or something, I think I'd do Bocchi the Rock. I feel like that's a good bet.
I was thinking of like, you know what would be like a good gateway, and it's technically not anime, Avatar. For anybody that hasn't watched it for whatever reason, I feel like that's a good gateway to get you into animation that's not specifically just cartoons, like like cartoons or they're just acting dumb. Or
wasn't Avatar cartoon?
It is, but
there's like some people who argue that it's anime lucky, blah blah blah. But it's just like all I'm saying is that it's obviously it came out.
So people say Dragon Ball Z is not anime, but
just because it has a big American audience.
I would agree that if you kind of want to like gauge someone's interest, if they're like, oh, I kind of want to get into it, like, okay, well, I don't know. It kind of depends. Like if they're like hesitant about it, but they want to, I think I would still show them Bocchi. But for the most part, I think Avatar is also a really safe bet. Like it's a decent enough like size and series to like kind of gauge someone's attention span, whether or not they're going to really want to commit to it. They all speak English, so it's pretty easy. So
I would probably show people like if you wanted a little more action, Guilty Gear. Oh, Guilty Crown, sorry.
Oh, I was like, is there an anime for Guilty Gear?
Guilty Gear does have an anime, but a Guilty Crown.
Isn't the one with the girl with the pink hair?
Yeah, but the dude with the badass weapon. Yeah.
I didn't talk about. That's Trip. That's a trippy anime.
That is, because it's got a little like future sci-fi, not like realism. Now, if you want something like to really, I don't know. I don't think I can like get anybody to get hooked onto anime when it comes to watching like just because I think it's very like you pick your crowd with these type of animes. Like this is the kind of crowd that you watch. Like I can't show someone Yu Yu Hakusho off the bat, even though it's one of my favorite animes, because it's very driven to a certain crowd of people.
Yeah, like, it's also like decently old too, and a lot of people, especially like casual viewers, are very like eye porn will almost hook anyone.
Yeah, I think I think like if I had to go with an old school one for sure, like one of the classics, Cowboy Bebop.
Yeah,
I can see that
because it's got a little bit of everything, you know.
Good music, just
good music. For any musicians, got a good story.
Yeah, for any musicians who aren't into anime whatsoever, just listen to the Cowboy Bebop soundtrack. Fucking amazing, along with Samurai Champloo.
Yep.
Just I gotta
Samurai Champloo is so great.
So good, dude.
I'm looking at
and if you want some horny ass shit, Afro Samurai is pretty cool too.
Afro Samurai is really good too.
That fireworks scene. Oh my god.
I'm like looking at my queue list. I got a lot of different anime for almost anyone. So
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, but like if it's like the general concept of like just the one, if you had one anime, not necessarily like to pick and choose depending on the person you're talking to, just like the overall. And I only asked that obviously because I got curious because I was like, there's so many people who really wanted to watch this episode that the entire page crashed. And this is, I think, their second time it's ever happened.
The episode was the Neo Demon Slayer, like
it was
finale,
the last it was the finale to season 6.
I think also why it crashed so hard was because even I got spoiled. I will be honest. I kind of knew it was going to happen because I was on Twitter earlier in the day and I saw like photos and stills. So I was like, oh, this could be anything though. It could be last memories. It could be like imagination. It could be anything.
Oh,
this looks too good to be true.
It, but you're talking about
it just looks too good to be true. So I was like, damn. Dude, there ain't no way. This is too good. This is too like hey, you know, but that's why when I saw it, I was like, oh, okay. And then we were watching, I was like, it does happen. Okay. Got it.
Yeah, I stay away from that. Just because like I don't like, I like to hype myself up to watching the episode, but not enough to where I'm like, I'm gonna spoil it for myself, or like be like I stayed off of Twitter like till I was like I wasn't on Twitter all day until like I knew, because I follow so many like anime stuff, or people I follow watch anime, so like people were retweeting and liking shit already. But I was like, no, like I'm gonna stay off of this. I was like, I don't feel like watching this or like getting spoiled. I was like, even though Richard and I spent like half of that season talking shit because it was so boring.
Yeah.
It was I even then, like I still was like, no, I'm not gonna spoil myself.
Yeah.
Like, yo, you can watch half of the last season and then watch the last episode and still know what the fuck happened. Like, you're not missing a lot, honestly.
Yeah.
Like,
This was just building character development. That's what this what the season was.
Character development / just honestly trying to get rid of those, you know.
Was it one of you that told me that Jujutsu Kaisen's gonna be going apparently until December? Was that one of you guys?
Me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's supposed to run all the way to December, so it's gonna be long.
That should be interesting.
Anime looks great though. A lot of photos came up of it, and it looks great. So,
I've been keeping He's read it.
Yeah, I've been keeping up with it. Like,
I'm gonna cry, dude.
I got spoiled to a lot of it already, accidentally. But yeah, and then Chainsaw Man 2's coming out too.
I
might read that. I might read Chainsaw Man. I don't know if I want to wait till I'll watch it still. Like, it's still really cool, but I think I might read Chainsaw Man. I want Jujutsu to be done so that I can jump on the Chainsaw Man, because my brain can't handle reading too like lengthy, like hefty. Like, I think I'm on chapter 225 of Jujutsu, so it's like I can't do another 200 something fucking banger or whatever. How many Chainsaw Man has.
The only thing I want to read at this point is just fucking the last few chapters that have been released for Hunter x Hunter, the new ones, because they haven't been turned into anime, and who knows when the fuck they're gonna get turned into anime, because the creator just keeps taking a hiatus.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah. What was I gonna say? There's another season after, because like when damn, I can't really say because it's I know, damn, because he's watching it. But I was gonna say there's like another season now, isn't there? Wasn't there like a new season of the anime or something?
No.
There's new books.
There's new books, new chapters coming out, but it's not enough to make a whole new season yet.
Gotcha. I thought I heard that there was a new season that had been added, so that's what people were hyped. But I guess people were hyped for the manga.
People are hyped because of how long it took for it to come out. But like, it's gonna go into production as soon as they have enough. There just isn't enough yet. Damn,
I might read it too then. Shit,
yeah,
I thought it was anime. That's why I was kind of waiting around for it. Then damn.
I think his name is Togashi. I didn't know he's the same artist. That's why he's the same person who did the thing for Yu Yu Hakusho. He's the same person that wrote it. I did not know that. And what's it called? That's why there's so many references to Yu Yu Hakusho in Hunter x Hunter, the anime.
Yeah.
But along with that, apparently he has like really bad anxiety and just like really bad mental health because of Yu Yu Hakusho, and just like so many fans expecting expecting him to just keep coming out with amazing material, and it's just like he's just like, I guess he can't handle the pressures a lot of the time.
I'm not gonna lie, like, I know what you're talking about, because there was a lot of talk about him for Yu Yu Hakusho, because the ending kind of dropped. It was very weird. And then there's also an ending that didn't happen that he confirmed was supposed to be out, but because people were so pressuring and pushy, that he decided not to go with that route because he was afraid of how people were going to take it.
Yeah.
When you watch it, I'll explain to you the ending. But yeah, that ending's very like, it's not a letdown, but it's like, really? Like, this is how we're ending it? Like, okay, cool. Fuck it. Like, I'm cool with this. Like, I had a lot. Like, there's enough here. But there's a lot of unexplained shit, and you can tell it got cut out for that reason.
Makes sense. Yeah. But
Yoshihiro Togashi.
Yeah.
That's his name.
Togashi.
That's the full name.
Shout out to him. Poor guy. I can't, take your time, I guess, but also please don't. Oh, actually, he said even if he dies, what's it called? He's gonna have his wife, because I think his wife is the one that wrote Sailor Moon. He's gonna have his wife finish Hunter x Hunter.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Good, dude.
Yeah.
Oh my god, when I watched a 3 or 4 hour Berserk breakdown of the entire manga series because I was not going to read all that. Dude, it's a lot. And then where it stopped off, then the author died. I was like, no, I've invested. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, it sucks. So, it sucks because it's one of those things that are probably not going to like finish correctly, or if it does.
The brothers took up the mantle. He's now the one that's in charge of like doing it. So I'm like, okay, hopefully he and his brother like talked about it or something.
Hopefully, or he left them some sort of idea.
Yeah, like there was some kind of like understanding.
It's hard because I don't know. The main protagonist of that anime is it's crazy. Like from where it starts to where it's at, it's like it's good. I've kept up with it. I don't own the books, but I've kept up with it, and I'm like, I need more.
Watch anime, guys. There's something for everybody.
It really is.
But it's good for your health.
That being said,
don't become a degen. Like certain part
don't become a fucking bottom feeder. That being said,
take showers.
We are yes, please. We are at the end of and then drink a lot of water and eat if you're gonna watch anime, especially if you're gonna binge it. It's not good for your health.
Stand up every once in a while.
That's okay. Get your blood flowing. Open your curtains. Make your bed. Do something like that.
It's summer.
Talk to your parents. I don't fucking know. Just don't lock yourself in your room. But anyways, that being said, we're at the end of our episode. We appreciate you guys always, and now we're gonna go to what Lee likes to call our favorite part of the episodes. Your guys' final remarks, and have you guys discovered any new music this week?
Yeah.
And we'll start with Lee.
Oh. Hello. Final regards. Check out anime. No, I don't know. I'm trying to think of like any final regards. It's Pride. Make sure to pay your local gay, your local queer friend, because they deserve it. Reparations for all the years of shit you've done, because I can guarantee you've done something.
Wow.
I have no idea.
Okay.
I'm trying to think of something else. No, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. I can't think of anything else as like for final regards other than watch anime. But we've said that before. I've like had anime I've recommended. Like I will advocate for it. It is good. And if you can't get past subtitles on the bottom of your screen, you need to grow the fuck up.
Read faster.
I'm just gonna say you need to grow the fuck up. And if you can't watch something that they're speaking in another language, you go the fuck somewhere else. Like, oh my god, you need to live in a foreign country. That is like, I can't stand that reasoning when people are like, I don't like subtitles. I
don't think you need to live in a foreign country for that. Don't go to other people's fucking country and ruin the shit with your bullshit.
For people that can't stand hearing foreign languages in the shows that they're watching, go live in another country, because that's fucking weird. That's like almost borderline like pseudo racist for me. Like you can't stand hearing someone else like speaking another language while you're watching something. What the fuck? That's weird,
bro.
Like.
Just quickly to add to that, some of the best fucking movies that you can ever watch are foreign.
I know, dude.
Some of these French movies I've seen are so good.
I'm sure, yeah.
Especially the horror movies too that are foreign. Oh my god, Jesus, those will scar you. They'll leave you thinking. Anyway. But yeah, those are my final regards. As for music, I don't have new. I kind of never recommended these two. I have, they're both pretty like chill, I'm gonna be honest. But one is Welcome to Eden by Samia, Samia. Welcome to Eden. That one's pretty cool. I think it's on Spotify. So I obviously was listening to it today, so I would assume that it's still there. I feel like it went away for a little while, I think. But it's cool. I like it. The lyrics, what she says, it hits. I was gonna say it hurts. When I would listen to it, it would kind of make me sad. So, but it's a really chill vibe. The instruments are really nice, so I like it. This is a perfect example of produced, but not like anywhere near being overly produced. So I dig it.
It's what's it called? It reminds me of Hallelujah, Jeff Buckley version.
Yeah,
just because dreamy guitar and just a voice. That's all you need. So good.
And then the second song is gonna be "Sad Boy" by Nas, Naaz. That one is complete opposite, I feel. So, but I like that one. It's catchy, it's cute, and it's like I feel like it's very 2013, 2016. It's almost in that era of music. It kind of has that kind of vibe to it. So I like that shit though.
I could be wrong, but I think you recommended this one before. Sounds familiar. Maybe I'm tripping.
If I do have a third one. I wanted to go with this one, but it's in Japanese and I don't really know how to like recommend it. So I'm assuming maybe it's on like the PC version, but the artist is Mondo Grosso, Mondo space Grosso, featuring guys, stick with me, Hikari Mitsushima. Yeah. And it has album mix in the title. This one is cool. The music video is really dope. It's just some chick in China, and it's shot in a very like well-known location, and really really cool dancing. So it's cool.
Sounds like some shit I could see playing in the background of like Final Fantasy.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, when you're just cruising around the city and stuff. But Mondo Grosso with Hikari Mitsushima. This one is vibey, so check it out.
Japanese EDM. But like house.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. So that's me.
Yeah.
Richard.
All right, Richard.
All right. We'll go with music first. So the first song, it's only 1 minute and 35 seconds, called "End" by Cende, Cende. It's like a garage rock kind of thing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just a cool little song. Kind of like gets you like in a good little jumpy mood. I don't really. It just reminds me of like summer right now. So yeah. Just go out and have
a summer thrash around almost.
Yeah,
a little bit. I like it. It's cool. Nice.
Yeah, and then second song is a lot more. Well, it's a little heavier. It's called Death Club by Def Radio.
Death Club?
Death as in like dead. Club by Def as in can't hear, Radio.
Def. Gotcha.
This one is a lot more alt rock. Think like Queens of the Stone Age mixed with a bit of like fuck, what is their name? Who did Black Hole Sun? Soundgarden. Think of like
Black Hole Sun. Oh yeah.
Yeah. Think of like Soundgarden mixed with Queens of the Stone Age. It's just so good to me. I was like, this shit gets me pumped. But yeah, they're very fucking like new to the scene. I think they just released their first album in like 2019 or something like that. They're from fucking Greece, but they got that edge to them. So
nice.
Yeah.
No, they're cool. I dig it.
Check them
out. For those of you that don't know those artists, it's like very rock band one. So like all three rock bands kind of have like different vibes. I feel like Rock Band 1 had more of like a garage grungy type of like vibe. So yeah.
So yeah, those are my two. As far as final remarks, like this is our last episode for Pride Month, so hope you had a good Pride Month. I don't know why we didn't mention it. I guess at least for me, I wasn't really too aware, but it is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month as well. So
it is
for all of our fellow boys, men out there, just
boys to men.
Yeah, take care of yourselves.
Boys
If you need to talk to somebody, hopefully you can talk to somebody. If not, just reach out to somebody. See how they're doing. And last thing, watch anime. There's something for everybody, like we've been saying. And yeah, that's it. That's all I got.
Cool. And I'll start with my final remarks. Kind of leaning onto what Richard said. Don't be afraid to try new things. It's summer. Go out, do something for yourself or somebody else or for whoever. Have some fun. We're like halfway through June already. We're more than halfway through June. I was like, it's gonna be July very quick. So, yeah, go out, have some fun. You know, enjoy your weird 20s. Like Lee's like going through his stages because he's almost 30. But yeah, just just have some fun. Enjoy it.
We're almost done with June.
Yeah.
Yeah. Enjoy a little sun. Go to the beach. Go. Stand in some water. Hang out with people. Talk to people.
Unless
I don't know.
Unless they look weird.
I have 2 weeks left of being 20 in my 20s.
No one cares.
Ayo.
Well, by the time this episode comes out,
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh shit. Futurely, it'll be okay. No, it won't.
And
it's just a number.
Jump, Lee, jump.
What? Do a backflip.
At least
do a barrel roll.
Oh shit.
And then as far as music goes, I'll leave you with 3. 2 of them. One of them actually leans to what Richard said, but 2 of them is gonna be that I've been bumping lately. Mimi's Delivery Service by Good Kid. It's a very just uppity song.
Oh, you know what's funny is that I think I screenshotted this too. Let me see. Yeah, it's right here. Good Kid. Yeah. I literally have it screenshotted. That's funny. I was gonna check it out. Oh, it was on TikTok. I screenshot stuff for music.
Oh, you found it? I
just later.
My music plays, and eventually, all these songs start popping up.
Yeah,
I work. Yeah, this one's cool. And then another one. This one's a very different mix. It's very chill too. It's called "We Lost" by Lapalux.
By who?
Lapalux, Lapalux.
Oh, Rhodes.
What?
That's what the piano is called. Rhodes.
Oh,
piano. Keyboard.
I was like, what are you?
Oh,
yeah. It's the one that sounds very. It sounds like bells type of thing.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I thought you were gonna pull like a family like Roadhouse.
And then to follow up this song, for the ones who don't know, I've been a huge fan, and I was blessed enough to see him live. He unfortunately did pass, but today is one of Mac Miller's most popular album. It's called Watching a Movie with the Sound Off. That album released 10 years ago, and it is like one of my favorite fucking albums. Objects in the Mirror is like one of my favorite. It is probably like my favorite song from that album. Because that obviously includes into men's mental health. Mm-hmm. So that's definitely one of my favorite songs off of that. So to me, even though Lee giggled, that shit's important to me.
Oh no! I was laughing at Richard. Yeah, because Richard was making a funny face. That's why I was like,
well, because you were Richard, you're doing your explanation. I was just there interested.
Yeah, but yeah. 10 years ago, this fucking dope ass album. It has a little bit of everything of everybody. This is one of the albums that kind of really launched him. He was already known, but this one really pushed him out, which is dope. But yeah, I was blessed enough to see a couple of these songs live, so that was fucking dope. And yeah, he's one of my favorite artists. Always has been, always will be.
I forgot. I do have one small song. It's only a minute. It's called "You Wish" by Flyana Flyana Boss. It's like a TikTok song. It was on Twitter too. It's kind of making little rounds. It's really cute. It's also rap. It's just two girls. Yeah, it's just 2 girls being little lyrical geniuses, and it's catchy. I like it. So
yeah, I've heard it.
I will say the last, like, I think it's the last, like, 10, 15 seconds are just her saying never, ever, 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 like almost over and over again. But it kind of just goes with the vibe of the song. So that was one of the ones I forgot to screenshot. That's why I take screenshots. I remember. But yeah, so that one's really cool. Just a small one.
I've heard it before. I thought it was Doja Cat.
If you like Doja,
you like
but you know which her new track?
Hey yo,
fucks.
Did you see her photos?
Oh,
she out. I'll send them to you later. She out living in the living it up on a boat with her mans. I was like, yo, Doja,
you weird.
What do you mean? She bad. Everybody know Doja bad.
She called her whole fan base dumb. But anyway,
I mean, hey,
listen,
you read what you sow.
They are though. I can't stand Doja's fan base. I'm a fan of Doja, and I have no problem with how I had no problem with her music. I had no problem with her art. No problem with her. I thought everything she was doing was fantastic. Loved her weird nerdy self. All y'all that talk shit about her are fucking bizarre because she's changing or she's not old Doja or whatever. Like, imagine a person changes. Lord of mercy. Y'all are fucking weirdos.
But yeah, so thanks for listening. We heard from a friend. Hope you guys have another great week. And as always, bye.
Chew.
As always, bye. Dope.
Yeah.